Hi David.
Hello.
So, the question is this. How can the approach that we express in our manifesto Liberty helps in analyzing the consequence of radical technological change?
I was very pleased to read Manifesto Ibridi. You have been able to describe the reasons and the methods through which several disciplines and several approaches that previously were separated can be seen as being part of a unit. And I see it as a very fruitful way of looking at differences between European approaches and American approaches to understanding the present and forecasting or applying our methods towards the future. I see American exceptionalism as a current, probably necessary expression of how our societies base their structure on the technologies, how many of these technologies come from the United States, how the US has been the master of exploiting, exporting these technologies around the world. And I don't only mean technologies as applied to our physical products. I also mean cultural artifacts, and I also mean the ways we organize human thought as a consequence of the inspirations of those cultural artifacts. However, we are seeing a potential phase change, a radical flip of how society is organized. And it is not at all granted that today's domination by the US of what is the global conversation around these points is going to continue. And I see a very interesting difference between what a relatively younger US society represents as its role and the rules by which it behaves and it imposes its values around the world versus what happens in Europe, where there is a tradition of analyzing and understanding past mistakes and past societies that goes way back for thousands of years. So is it going to be that the European approach, as also illustrated in your manifesto, is potentially going to be better adapted to take advantage of the coming change? Now, my point of view is that social change never precedes the technological basis that enables that change. It always comes after the fact. So the US will have the opportunity of seeing the signals potentially before other societies see them, and it will have the chance of riding those changes. The question is, in its current leadership position, which is under threat from many angles, or it is perceived as being under threat, is the US going to answer by building up its defenses and by shielding its current social organization, its way of life, so that change does not occur, which is impossible, so that change is delayed, and then it happens in a manner that is much more disruptive than otherwise it could be? I think this is a very interesting and important question. What happens in Europe can be, as a consequence, very informative and very interesting, and it must not be seen from the point of view of the US as a separated issue. Whether it is the financial crisis, whether it is the demographic challenges, whether it is the political issues concerning the rise of the radical right, for example, in many European societies. These are all issues that a lot of people in America either don't see at all, or if they see it, they perceive them as something that does not concern the United States. However, if the approach of the manifesto is correct, and if the way I am seeing things also is correct, then these are manifestations of underlying issues that cut across the board on a global scale, and they are not at all separated from each other, and then the United States would be much better off learning from them and stepping up to the challenge of rapidly adapting its ways of life, policies, regulations, legislations, so that they are ready to embrace the change that is coming rather than trying and postpone it.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Thank you.